that. Oh, you thought, yes, probably you were right about the, probably it was green for the children's.
I know that it was either blue or green, and children had one colour, forces another, and adults another. And I can't remember either. It was that colour, and there was red and there was green, but I'm not sure which is which.
Well, this was the adult one.
Mm.
But,
so were there any other strange things you ate during the war apart from whale meat?
well, dried eggs.
And what were they like?
Not very nice. Of course, we had powdered milk.
What can you remember about rationing and things like that?
Well, we had to be very careful with we only had a certain amount of butter and bread and various foods. But my father was a marvellous gardener, and we had plenty of fresh vegetables.
Dig for victory.
Wonderful vegetables he used to grow.
Yes.
But no, surprisingly, with these meagre rations, really, you didn't go hungry. I don't remember ever being hungry. You just didn't get all the, you know, the amount of sweets and junk food and that you get now.
And a lot of people grew vegetables, didn't they?
Yes, oh yes, of course, because of Dig for Victory was the slogan.
I've heard about people talking about propaganda, Lord Haw Haw.
Oh yes, but we used to laugh at Lord Haw Haw.
Why was that?
Well, we sort of thought that he was trying to scare us, and we weren't going to be scared by Lord Haw Haw.
Was there something about his voice that made him funny rather than...
Yes, he did have an odd voice, yes.
It was just his voice, you know, and I can remember.
Were there any Americans stationed near where you lived towards the end of the war?
Yes, there were. I always thought they looked extra smart, but then so did everybody else. And again, being a little girl, they were nice.
Yes, I remember Americans in Buckfastleigh, not in Plymouth. And that must have been when I was here before I went to college, because I can remember my friend and I helping to serve in a canteen for the Americans, which was held in the YMCA. And on Saturday mornings we went and served them with drinks and sweets.
What did girls think about the American soldiers as opposed to the British?
Well, I was just a little bit too young to take any interest in them, but I think they liked them because, of course, they gave them lots of presents and things, and the older ones had sort of silk stockings and sweets and everything like that. So I think they were welcomed here, really.
Yes, my father considered that he had the hardest time, even than perhaps going to war, because with 30 Land Army girls, many of whom did not have any experience about working in the country or the farm, and he had to get them outside, doing the harvest, doing the picking of the crops, the Brussels sprouts in the winter, and we had many a time, "Frank, I don't want to go out there, it's cold, or it's raining, it will ruin my hairstyle." And so these poor girls had to suffer these sort of working conditions when they really weren't used to it. And my father's job was to make them get on with it. But he did, because he was a charming man and could do so.
And there were two of us, a fellow called Pot Turner. He was a cross country, he came from Aylesbury. They put me and him in the kitchen working in this mission hall. It was a concert. Steelworks town. Concerts closed down now. And we gradually moved down to North Devon. I was up Uffcombe, North Devon first, right? And then to Ashburton. Because I was Corporal then. With that place up in Ashburton where I just mentioned him. And from there were short NCOs, and I got transferred down to Buckfastleigh. I slept in the Globe.
You slept in the Globe?
I was Globe then. I had a little double bed over myself, and there was 7 other soldiers asleep on the floor, just inside the door, the back of the Globe. We went in there, and the couple that were living there then had the pub. They were called Woods. He was called Arthur Woods.
So, were you a desert rat?
Yes.
You were?
Yeah. 58th Army. Got transferred.
Yes.
There were 30 of us went from here. Plus they were all privates. Plus one sergeant. A Sergeant Archie he was called.
And
we did this training on the assault boats. I told you, used to lower them on the side of the troop ships, didn't they? But now it's different now, isn't it? And well, this particular morning, a fella come down, he said, "Are you going back to England?" I said, "No, on your life." He said, "Why?" He said, "We're in Sicily." I said, "Don't talk so daft." Went up top and look, you could see Mount Etna from where we'd anchored off.
So how long were you in Sicily?
Well, it was over in about less than a month, wasn't it?
Right. When did you go over to France then? When did you go over to France for the second time?
The second time? Oh, D-Day.
You went on D-Day?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And where did you leave from? Where did you leave from? Which port did you come from? Go from
Southampton.
Southampton.
Yeah. We were stationed with the wait a minute now. It was because I caught malaria out in North Africa and Sicily as well. I had malaria, and they settled about after the war.
So where did you arrive? Which beach were you on? Juno, Golds?
Canadian was on our left, on Juno, wasn't it?
Juno, right.
Yeah.
Canadian
was on our left.
Right.
The Americans, they went to Cherbourg. That's where they were on the right, didn't they? I knew that. I thought they had a job there because it was all big submarine bases there, you know, high rocks there.
Right. So, how long before you managed to get inland?
No, wait a minute.
From the beach.
Yeah, it took us about 7 hours to get down to on board ship. There was so many tanks and amphibious tanks, troops, you name it. It was under the thousands, Canadians, you name it. Before D-Day.
Right.
Right. It took about 7 hours before we was the last vehicle on.
Can you tell us again for the camera the story about the letter? Shall I pass it to you?
Yeah. It was put on this train. And when I say, I can't remember. It was. I don't know. I've got no idea where it was. But all I do know is from there, I was going up the burns unit, plastic surgery unit in Scotland. It was the latest thing, you know. Plastic surgery was just coming into thing. And I thought, well, my wife would be informed as next of kin that I'd been burnt on the hands and face, which they all thought. But fortunately, my face, as you can see, it still looks quite pretty. Well, not out of the way
No.
for an 88-year-old, sure.
Not at all, no.
So I chucked this out the window, and not very long afterwards, I got a letter from her saying she got it.
And you'd just thrown it out of the window on the off chance that somebody would find it and post it?
That's all I could do.